Hey guys, Rex here, and welcome to the first video in a brand new series I have for you guys in which I am going to be making maps because I really like making maps, although it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. The end results are very pleasing. But the problem with making maps usually is that YouTubers, if they make a map, they don't have time to make videos. So that is why I'm making a series about map making is a common solution to that problem, and the videos can be very entertaining to watch. So I thought I would give it a shot. So for the first season here, we are going to be working on a map that I'm going to be calling ShadowStrike. And this in front of you is an arena that was built by my good friend Superlink243. He is a very skilled builder in my opinion. I mean, just look at this. It looks pretty awesome. Even the layout's pretty good. Yeah, so this map, this is the arena. It's not quite done yet. There's still some things I'd like to change. But he did build this quite a while ago when I had the idea for the map, and now that there have been a lot of new features added, I can actually make the map quite a bit different and a little bit more fun. Now, it's going to be a very simple map. There's no major, huge command block stuff to do. It's basically a deathmatch map with bows and some kinks that I'll tell you about in a second. But you'll notice that it's the middle of the night. There is no light in the map. That is one of the things. There's not going to be any light. It's going to be entirely lit up by moonlight, which only gives a light level of 4 and that bluish tint, which I think is really cool. If this is too dark and you can't see it, I'm really sorry. You probably have a really dark monitor. I would try going into the settings and brightening it, but I'm not going to brighten up these videos for the video because that is how I want the map to be played. I think it's bright enough. It's dark, but bright enough to see here. But in some places, in like the corridors here, it is too dark in my opinion, which is why I'm going to, like in here, you probably can't see a thing, which is why I started adding these little sky lamps here so that it lets some moonlight in. So that's the map, and so everyone for this map is basically going to get a bow called a Shadow Blaster, and I think a pair of boots here that have the enchanted glow. Haven't worked everything out yet because obviously I'm gonna have to do some play tests, see if it's fun, blah 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 blah. You get the Shadow Blaster that essentially right now it's just a regular bow, but we're gonna do some cool things with it. It actually has the infinity enchantment, but you can't see it, and it's got a colored name. And I bet a lot of you guys are going to be wondering how I do colored stuff throughout this series. And the first way to do it is if you're using the tell raw command, then you can color it with that. But if you're using any other command, you're going to need to do something funny. Now, in Minecraft, coloring items and such is made by putting the section symbol, which on your keyboard is the alt code 21. If you don't know what that is, just Google section symbol and it will show you what it is. And then you put a letter or number after that, going from 1 to F. So I think is 0 one of them? It might be. I don't know. I don't even remember right now. But a hexadecimal number after it, and then that gives it one of the colors. Now the thing is, you can't actually put this character, I'm trying to put it in here, you cannot put it in Minecraft, you can only paste it into books. That's the only way you can legitimately get it into Minecraft without any external editors. So what I've done here is I have a command block here that you can't see it, but it's actually got 4 of those symbols in it, and I'm going to be using that to get colored stuff, so I can just modify it. This one here I'm going to actually probably use because it just says hi in different colors. See, if I mouse here, that symbol there is this one here is the section symbol, and then right beside it it's got a letter, and that makes it a little bit confusing because it disappears. See there, it's section A high, right? And then A is the format code for light green, and that's why it shows light green and it gets hidden and it's a bit complicated. But I used a program called NBT Explorer for that. You can probably find tutorials on the internet on how to change the colors of your text. But that's enough about that. Let's get started with working on some of the features for this map. Okay, so before we get started here, I just quickly want to mention that for those of you who want the next LP episode, that is going to be coming out in a couple weeks because I am very busy right now with some work, and I have exams coming up, and I'm going to be working on it after exams because I do not have any time right now. I am really should be working right now, but I'm making a video instead. So first we're going to work on the sort of global features that work throughout the entire map, and that's where we're going to be working on this episode. So first we're going to be starting with the arrows. Now there's a couple of things we don't want. We do not want arrows to, when they hit the ground, we do not want them to stay there. I don't know why that one disappeared, but oh yeah, because I can pick them up in creative mode. But I don't want them to stay here, right? So to fix that, here's my big fill clock here. You just make that with a couple fill commands like that. And this one I'm just going to be placing the command blocks along here. I might organize them a bit later. But so, what was I doing? The arrows, to get them to despawn instantly when they hit the ground, we're going to be doing a couple things. First I'm going to add an objective called in ground. That is a dummy objective, and that's going to be a dummy objective. And then we're in this command block we're going to put scoreboard players, I can never ever type that, players set all entities of type arrow in ground 1 if they have the NBT data of in ground is 1B. And that's a tag that arrows will have that says whether they're in the ground or not. So if we, sorry about my keyboard, it is quite old, so it is also quite noisy. So if we set the sidebar to the one we just made, in ground, you'll notice that when I shoot an arrow, nothing will happen, but if I shoot an arrow, let's try going over here and shooting one straight up, you can see that once it hits the ground, it will have a score in the in-ground thing over there. And then we are going to kill all entities of type arrow with a score of in-ground minimum 1. Like that. So now, they will instantly go away when they hit the ground and when they hit the wall. And that's really useful because then we don't have arrows all over the place. And the next thing we want to do, because you notice every time it does this, it makes an entry in the world file, and just to reduce the amount, because it doesn't actually remove these when the entity actually dies, so to remove those right after that, we're going to scoreboard players reset star, meaning all entries, and then in ground. So it's not there. You notice if I shoot one, it won't show up on the side because it's instantly being reset and deleted from the world file, so that we don't have a big clutter, because that, I don't know, it just seems like a good thing to do to me. You don't really have to do it, but yeah. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be doing, fairly simple thing, we are just going to be adding a particle effect to the arrows. So let's do this here. We're going to go particle. What particle should we use? No, we need execute. Execute at E type equals arrow. Tilde, tilde, tilde. And we need to execute because the particle thing only works with mobs for some reason. Arrow particle portal tilde, tilde, tilde 0, 0, 0, 0, 5. And will that work? Yeah, there we go. Then we get a really cool trail effect that is slightly delayed, and I really like that. I think it looks really cool. There we go. You can see it there. my opinion. It looks very, very cool. Just sort of a faint trail where the arrow goes, which might let you see where the arrow would be coming from if someone were to shoot at you. And then the next thing we're gonna do for this map, we're gonna add a lot of custom sounds. So we're gonna add a custom shooting sound. So for that, we're gonna add another objective called use bow, and it's going to be stat of type stat dot use item dot minecraft dot bow. Now, every time if I set this to the sidebar, you'll notice that every time I shoot, it increments. So for that, then we're going to put another command block here. That is play sound, fail, play sound, let's use mob.wither dot, I don't remember what sound I was going to use. Mob.wither dot something, I'll be right back. Okay, I remember that. It was the hurting sound for the wither, the mob.wither.hurt, and then we're going to do at a score use bow min equals 1. I do not even know how the one second. I do not know how the play sound command really works. I don't know who can hear it when you do this, and I don't know who can hear it, and I don't know where it's located, and there's a bunch of things I don't know, but hopefully this will work for now. I'm actually going to remove this so it doesn't work, because it's going to spam me with sounds. And then we're going to, immediately after that, scoreboard, players set at a, score, use bow. Let's just do a scoreboard, players, reset at, at a, use bow. No. Yeah, that works, but I'm just going to use a star instead. Okay, like this. And then we're going to add the add back here. So now, what I do need to do here is add a tilde, 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 2, 1. There. And now, hopefully it'll make a really cool sound when we shoot. That is not what I was trying to do, was it? I was trying to do 1, 2. And there we go. We have our Shadow Blaster sound. I think that sounds pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Alright, on to the next thing. Okay, so I did realize that my audio was a bit imbalanced for the previous clips. I tried to balance it out a little bit. Hopefully that helped. I did move the mic a little closer to my face because I don't really know how to... I can't really change the volume with my mic. And I'm using Fraps, so I can't really change the volume. I might change to another program in the future. And I did lower my game volume, and I'll just fiddle with it in my video editor. But next, we are going to add a custom death sound as well. And to do that, we are going to add a scoreboard objectives, add, play, death, sound, death count. There we go. And we're making it play death sound, because if we're just gonna make one called deaths, I'm probably gonna be using it for a different purpose. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a scoreboard. Or no, that's not what we want. We want play sound mob.blaze.death at a. That's the right sound. And we want score play death sound min is 1. That was very, very loud. I may have just cut that out. It just Yeah, because it's a bit glitchy. And then we're gonna do scoreboard players reset play death sound. There we go. So now if I'm gonna quickly let's do this. I'm just gonna set my spawn point here, and then I'm gonna make sure the game rule keep inventory is true, and I'm gonna kill myself, and you should hear the noise. There we go. We heard the blaze death noise. I'm gonna modify it a bit now. Tilde, tilde, tilde. What should be? We're gonna make it louder, and does that work? Let's try that. That's the Hypixel Quake sound. I think I'll leave it like that. Let's try that. I'm just gonna try and shoot myself here. I'm doing a really bad job. I'm trying to shoot myself so I can hear the arrow effects as well, but let's try this killing again. Alright, I like that sound. So before we move on to the next little bit, I'm going to just fiddle around with the play sound command a bit, see if I'm derping this whole thing up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add, and the last thing we're going to add for this episode, is a custom death message. Now, this is something that I have not actually used before, and it may not work, so I might not be able to use it, but I'm going to try to give it a go here. So first, we are going to make sure the game rule of, what's it called? Is it show death? Yeah, that one is false. So that when I die, if I die, let's just try killing myself here, it shouldn't say anything. Okay, other than that. It shouldn't say Captain Rex 7567 died. Now, we are going to add 2 more objectives here. Scoreboard objectives. What is it? Add. What are we going to call this one? We're going to call kill message, and we're going to make it, I think it's stat dot, no, is it? Oh, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. There we go. I think, what were the original type? It's like player kills? Player kill count, that's the one. And then we want one called, another one called death message, that is death count. Like that. And those 2 objectives we're going to use to determine who killed who. Because when you do shoot someone, it augments your player kill count scoreboard. So, first we are going to, we have 3 commands. This one, it's scoreboard players reset star kill message, and then scoreboard players reset star death message. Alright, now in this one we are going to have a tell raw command, and that is the one that's going to say who killed who. And so we're going to tell raw at A, and then here we're going to have our text, and then we're going to say, no, that's not what we want. We're going to have selector, and then it's going to say at A, score death, I didn't spell that right, death message, if they have a minimum score of death message 1, and then we're going to add our extra here, so we can add more like things to it. Oops, colon, bracket. Okay, and then we're going to add 1, and it's going to be text, and then, which is, was, what's a good verb here? I don't know what to use a verb. For now, I'm going to go with vaporize. Does it have a Z or an S? I think it has an S. I don't even know. One sec, I'll look that up too. Okay, it turns out it's both, just like I thought. It's spelled differently in different places of the world or something like that. But I'm going to go with a Z for now. Now this, in my opinion, isn't the best word for this map. Remember, you are sort of using a shadow blaster. This is called ShadowStrike. I'm also going to add more shadow, unseen, you know, purple and black type things. So if you think of a verb that fits here instead, please put it in the comments and let me know what I should use, and maybe I'll decide. I'll probably decide by next episode. But anyways, next we want to add a color to that. So the color is going to be dark gray. And then we need one more little instance of a text thing here. And then we're going to do selector is at A, score, what did I call it? Kill, what did I, kill message, right? Kill message, and then this one like that. And then what that should say is so-and-so was vaporized by so-and-so every time someone shoots someone. Now the only exception, since these are being powered every tick, it's going to be fairly accurate. The only exception is if two people end up shooting each other at exactly the same time, down to 1/20th of a second, then it will say player A and B killed player C and D, which isn't too bad. Unless this whole thing doesn't work, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try shoot myself. So let's just give me one of these and one of these. And let's go into adventure mode. And then I'm going to splash myself with this. Splash myself with this. And let's try and shoot myself here. Come on. Come on. I'm regenerating faster than I can shoot myself. Come on. There we go. And my name is white, and I'm going to make the names different colors in the future. There we go. Captain Rex 7567 was vaporized by Captain Rex 7567. That's exactly what I want. I'll have to do some testing, though, in multiplayer. I also couldn't test the play sound right now because I don't have anyone else to test with, and I only have one account at the moment, even though I really should get to buying a second one. But I think that is all I have for this episode. Notice the episodes are going to be relatively short. They're not going to be like half an hour or anything. But we just got some cool features for this map done. And there will be obviously more. I'm going to plan on finishing this map in this series, and then I'm going to release it to you guys. Me and Superlink are probably going to do some more work on the map in a bit. But yeah, so we got our Shadow Blaster done with our sounds and our particles. We got our death message, and we got our death sound. All with these few command blocks here. And we got our arrows that despawn when they hit something. But that is all the time I have for today. Well, I didn't actually really have this time. I probably should be doing something else. But that is all the time I have for today. So, if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to leave a like. And if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I try to get around to as many of them as I can. But like I said, I am very busy. But thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you next time. Rex out.